Now, is it correct, sir, that you were put in a position in which everybody was eager and content to have Ollie North do whatever was necessary to energize the Contras, to keep them together as a fighting force, to instill democratic values in them, to open up a Southern front, to promote unity, to provide them with intelligence, to provide them with advice on munitions, to help provide them with that air base in a Central American country. They were all content and eager for you to do this as long as you didn't create a record pinning it on them.
You'd have to ask them.
Well, do you remember, Oliver North, that you had a conversation once with the chief of the Central American Task Force at the CIA right after Boland was passed, and I'm going to show it to you if you don't remember, and that you got criticized for being indiscreet in mentioning what you were doing, and you were told, be more discreet next time. Not that you shouldn't do it.
I recall the event. I don't recall the time.
It's an exhibit here. We don't have to go over it.
I recall it.
But that really was the spirit, wasn't of it all. Don't infect other people with knowledge.
Unnecessary knowledge is the term.
You do it. You provide the deniable link. You take the rap if it gets exposed. That was what this was all about, right?
I have testified to that.
And it's also fair to say that the people who chose you for this knew and appreciated your qualities.
You're asking me to put myself in the minds of other people, counsel. I don't believe that any of those people foresaw the outcome of what has happened.
Well,
I certainly didn't. I do honestly believe that they expected that Ollie would go quietly, and Ollie intended to do so right up until the day that somebody decided to start a criminal prosecution.
Colonel, you characterized yourself, you described yourself as an action-oriented person, correct?
That's correct.
You were the person who, I think in your own statement, people would say, Ollie, fix it, right?
That's correct.
And it would get fixed, right?
Usually.
But Oliver North, I hear you saying that if you weren't on the order for the appointment of an independent counsel, if there was agreement that there was no criminal liability here, people would expect you to come before Congress and say, I did it. It's not their fault. I was that loose cannon.
I did do it. I am not, as I said in my statement, at all ashamed of any of the things that I did. I was given a mission, and I tried to carry it out.
But part of that mission was to shield the others who were giving you the orders.
That is the part of any subordinate. Every centurion had a group of shields out in front of him, 100 of them.
Well, would you agree with this proposition, Colonel, that And I think you would, because I think those medals represent it.
No, those medals represent the heroism of the young Marines that I led. That's what they represent.
Do you still have you still have those values, don't you?
I never called myself a hero. Those words were used by other people to describe me. I am grateful for those words, but I've never called myself such.
Colonel, 5.5 years in the White House hasn't destroyed those values,
Not at all.
nor has this investigation destroyed those values.
Not in the least.